And yeah, he said, I'm complaining a bit to the director. The part's rather small. I said, well, my role in his life was pretty small too. And now, I spent 50 years trying to avoid him, and now I've got 2 movies surrounding me, with all my friends saying, because one has a great actor in it. It's the one that's in release now. So I think I'll see that just to see him.
If there was an impeachment, the only person left is Mr. Cheney. Would you discuss Mr. Cheney's behavior? Your knowledge of history.
Well, I'm told there's so much metal inside him, and if you walked by him with a magnet, it would all end. I think he would have to go if wartime president was impeached. I think they would be both invited to go. I predicted about 5 years ago, I said, you know, this Bush is going to end up the most hated man ever to be president. And everybody said, no, you must give him a chance. I said, he'll have his chance and he'll be hated.
Gore, I have a question. I suspect that while many people are aware of your historical novels, or your essays, or your experimental works, that fewer are aware of your pioneering work as an early television writer in the 50s during the golden years with William Shatner and others. Could you discuss your early days as a writer of television plays in the 50s?
It was fun. It was very interesting. I didn't do it because I wanted to do it. I did it to make a living because the New York Times, the daily reviewer there, called Orville Prescott, had the power to make or break a book. He made my first novel, Willowaw, a war novel. Then with The City and the Pillar, he told my publisher that I will never read, much less review, a book by Gore Vidal. I had 7 books in a row that were not reviewed by the New York Times, and the rest of the country follows their lead. So the only thing left to make a living was to go on television and write plays for television, which I enjoyed doing. Then I returned to the novel, to everyone's surprise, with Julian, and Orville Prescott came out of retirement to attack it. So that's why we love the Times. Consistency, consistency. Yes?
Well, Vidal, you were born into politics. We have a monkey in the president's office now. Surely if you would run again for the president, what would we have? We would have wit, finally, against monkey talk.
Or monkey business, which is rather worse. Well, I don't think presidents don't get very far with wit. Lincoln was always getting into trouble because he sometimes overdid it. The others never had a chance.
There's a question from Floyd Morrow behind you, I think.
Floyd.
Gore, what's your comment about our great leader here in California, Arnold?
Arnold, well, I don't do that imitation. I stopped Hitler years ago. I don't think he's, well, he's not as nice as he looks. I say that ironically. And, well, you're the head of the Democratic Party here, or you were last time I was running for office. How did he happen?
That was an accident.
We're getting too many accidents. No, it was, I think it was, once again, the press was napping. The press wasn't going to tell you really what does he know about anything. They just saw that he was popular and crowds liked to see him. And he had been a popular actor in his time. And politics. Jack Lemmon went to see Ronald Reagan right after he became president, just to say hello. Jack said, well, you know, what's it like being president? Well, said Ron. Well, it's a great second career. You should try it. But we never got President Lemon.
A question right here.
Did you ever think of writing about the Emperor Claudius?
Well, did I think about writing about the Emperor Claudius? Robert Graves did that quite thoroughly. You know, I don't think I'd go over that ground again. And the BBC did a marvelous series on Claudius with Jacobi, who's a brilliant actor. I think Claudius has been well and truly done.
I thought he needed to be spitted a bit.
Oh.
I think he was in the TV series, as I recall.
Well, he lived.
I have a question from a young man here.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
I think I have the honor of being one of the youngest in the audience tonight, and I was wondering if you had any advice to a young writer, and one who in particular feels at odds with, like you did, or probably throughout your career, at odds with the world and the literary establishment in general.
Well, never cease to be at odds. That'll make you even. And the secret to learning how to write is really reading. And I think literature is so badly taught by the schools, particularly at the university level, because they're doing nothing but, you know, writing about friends, and enemies, and thinking about tenure. They come to hate literature, these professors. I mean, they really do. I know one who just, his veins start to turn purple whenever he, you know, and he has to talk about Keats. He's stuck with the Romantic poets. And I said, you know, why don't you take an MBA or something, you know? Because he's rather good about the market. And I think people should go where they're suited, you know, and stay out of lit, you know. We have enough duds anyway.
Do you think that good literature is political literature?
Can be, and it also cannot be. It's like anything else. Stendhal said that politics in a work of art is like a pistol shot at a concert. Well, I know what he means, and he's making a good point. But you just don't go around making pistol shots, particularly if everybody else is shooting at you. So at times, the pistol shot is for self-protection, as well as for getting attention to whatever your argument is. Well, I think politics is a rich field. Because the best literature is, I think, satiric. And what is that based upon? Hypocrisy. We always like to think England invented that, but, you know, we perfected it. Actually, I'm a very religious kind of guy in my way. Every time I hear that, you reach for a pistol. You know you've got somebody bad on your hands.
Thank you.
Gore, I was wondering if you could briefly discuss the influence of Senator Thomas P. Gore on the young boy who led him through the halls of on the development of the oratorical skills of the young boy who led him through the halls of the Senate.
Well, asking about my grandfather, Thomas Pryor Gore, born in Mississippi during Reconstruction, of an Anglo-Irish family from Donegal, and we were politicians for something like 14 generations as far as we could trace it, both in Ireland and England before that, because they were Anglo-Irish. I mean, they really weren't Irish at all. But there was one point when I think there were 9 Gores in that rump parliament that the British had in Dublin.